Movies Conservatives Get Wrong, Part 2. First entry, The Matrix. The alt-right, right around the time that Trump was elected in 2016, loved using the phrase red-pilled, red-pilled. They used it as a verb to describe how you're forcibly woken up to the reality around us. This even led to people using phrases like black-pilled. This was used within the incel community. Suffice to say, the reality was actually being depicted in the Matrix film. It was capitalism as it is today. Taking the red pill was actually waking you up to see the realities of the horrors of our system. Number 2 on the list, the Joker. I got dozens of people saying this was one to include in part 2, and here it is. Incels and conservatives love to identify with the Joker in this movie. However, the film is a not-so-subtle nod to what neoliberalism and austerity have done to our system and society. Care is not available and money is put towards things like weapons and other areas of society that are not a great need. Just take a look at this clip from the Joker.
They've cut our funding. We're closing down our offices next week. The city has cut funding across the board. Social services is part of that. This is the last time we'll be meeting. They don't give a shit about people like you, Arthur. And they really don't give a shit about people like me either.
How am I supposed to get my medication now?
Third on the list, RoboCop. Paul Verhoeven always seems to make it onto lists of films that people on the right or liberals do not understand. RoboCop is an extremely overt satire on the police state, monopolies, and the fact that corporations basically own everything within our society, including the police force. It's really stunning to see how people do not get the satire of this film. Number 4 on the list, we're going to go with a TV show here, The Boys, and everyone's favorite Homelander, which the conservatives also love to identify with. What they don't realize is that Homelander is meant to show the dangers of nationalism. The show is a not-so-subtle nod to the dangers and threat of white supremacy in America. And number 5 on the list, Glengary Glenross. You know, that film about always be closing. It seems that conservatives tend to watch this film as a way to express the need to work harder, and the harder you work, the better you'll do in society. But really in this film, we see the horrors of capitalism and the shaky foundation that it's built on. Alec Baldwin's character reduces the idea of a salesman down to a commodity, just like that which they're selling. You could go much deeper into this movie with a Marxist analysis, but we'll save that for another time. Stay tuned for part 3.